The story with twists and turns, and now the answer turns to prime time. LeBron James will make his announcement at 9 o'clock on Thursday night on ESPN.
I believe he's staying in Cleveland.
Cleveland!
Chicago.
New York.
Going. Staying. Going. Staying. Going. Gone.
All signs are pointing toward Miami as Andy.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In the history of professional sports, few athletes have authored a legacy as long and illustrious as LeBron James. He's the NBA's all-time leading scorer, a 4-time MVP. He's got 4 rings and 4 finals MVPs, multiple Olympic gold medals. Even if he isn't basketball's GOAT in your eyes, he's still undeniably in the pantheon of greatest pro athletes ever. If, however, there's one small smudge on the King's legacy, one moment he'd like to do over, it has to be the decision. The unprecedented and much maligned TV special in which he broke the news of his move to Miami, and in the process, earned himself a whole lot of flack. With the benefit of hindsight, it makes perfect sense that the decision, one of the few PR-related missteps in James's career, wasn't the brainchild of anyone on James's team. Not his business partner Maverick Carter, not his then agent Leon Rose, not himself. Believe it or not, the idea for a live TV special for LeBron to announce his free agency decision following an iconic 7-year run with the Cleveland Cavaliers, the most highly anticipated free agency decision in NBA history, actually came from a fan who suggested it to Bill Simmons in a 2009 mailbag column. Imagine that. Well, a few months later, Simmons found himself pitching the idea to both LeBron's team and his bosses at ESPN. He figured it could be one of the coolest sports shows ever made if we do it correctly. Now, ESPN didn't immediately move forward with it, and Simmons eventually gave up on the project, but the idea gained new life after Carter ran into veteran sportscaster Jim Gray and industry bigwig Ari Emanuel at the 2010 NBA Finals, just weeks out from James's free agency. The three of them got to talking. Gray, it seemed, was also keen to do a live decision show. And before long, Carter had gotten LeBron to buy in. Gray was going to host the thing, and Emanuel was in conversation with ESPN executive John Skipper about how to pull it off. One thing that James's team insisted on, by the way, that the ad revenue generated by the special be donated to the National Boys and Girls Club of America, which ended up receiving $2 million. But this was happening. LeBron's decision wasn't going to break on Twitter or with a press release. And just to give you a sense of what the social media and information landscape looked like back then, LeBron didn't even have a Twitter account when free agency opened in 2010. Bottom line though, LeBron's decision would be announced by the man himself on live television in an unprecedented move. It was such a departure from the norm, in fact, that it made then NBA Commissioner David Stern uncomfortable. He felt ESPN was giving LeBron too much power and actually tried to get the show canceled. No dice though. This was happening. First, however, LeBron had to choose a team, a decision that would shape the landscape of the NBA for years to come. Now, coming into free agency, LeBron said that the Cavs, his hometown team and the only NBA franchise he'd ever known, had the edge. But every organization with the cap space and cachet to land him went hard to the hoop for LeBron, who held a de facto free agent summit for interested teams to come and court him. The Knicks made a presentation to him. The Bulls went after him. So did the Nets and the Clippers. The Cavs obviously pulled out all the stops to get him to stay. But those weren't the only meetings that LeBron had that summer. See, ahead of free agency, James also conferred with the 2 other most highly sought after talents on the market, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. The trio, according to ESPN, had discussed the possibility of joining forces in Miami, where Wade had already won an NBA title. Could they really form a super team though? Could playing with 2 other future Hall of Famers compel LeBron to ditch Cleveland, which by the way could offer him the most money? Was that more enticing than following in Michael Jordan's footsteps in Chicago? The basketball world would find out soon enough. In fact, LeBron chose his new team barely a week after free agency opened. And he would announce that decision to the world live on ESPN on July 8th, 2010, in an hour-long special that would become a controversial touchpoint in LeBron's career. Now, whether you like the decision or not, there's no question that it wasn't the most expertly executed TV special ever. For starters, the aesthetics were just plain weird. There was a live audience in the room with LeBron and Gray. And then, rather than just get to the announcement, Gray peppered James with inane questions and awkward chit-chat. They didn't get to his decision until almost a half hour into the show. Finally though, after what felt like an eternity, James made his announcement, dropping the bomb with a turn of phrase that would be mocked for years to come.
In this fall, man, it's very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach
and join the Miami Heat.
Boom. Miami. That's it. Done. But did the show end there? No. The two kept chatting awkwardly for a while the 13 million viewers at home either rolled their eyes, shook their head, changed the channel, or, for those in South Florida, celebrated. And whether it was the spectacle of it, the language that he used, the frustration over the impending Miami super team, or simply the fact that he was moving on, Cleveland immediately turned on James. Within minutes, Cavs owner Dan Gilbert posted an anti-LeBron diatribe on the Cavs' official website, slamming his decision, in Comic Sans font mind you, as a cowardly betrayal. He also promised that the Cavs would win a title before LeBron, which, yeah, that didn't age well. And plenty of Cavaliers fans were comparably furious. As soon as he announced his decision, Cavs fans started lighting their LeBron jerseys on fire and talking unimaginable smack about their erstwhile king, the most accomplished player in franchise and the region's history.
It's embarrassing. Good riddance. Good riddance. Dan Gilbert will bring us a winner. We don't need LeBron.
We supported him in everything what he did. And for him to up and just leave us like that, man, that hurts. It hurts.
But the decision didn't just rankle Cleveland fans. The hour-long special, which ran 75 minutes, irritated people throughout the sports world, who called LeBron egotistical and selfish. The reaction in Cleveland and beyond was ultimately so overwhelmingly negative that LeBron quickly came to regret the decision. As he told ESPN months later, "If I had to go back on it, I probably would do it a little bit different. I don't know what I would have done, but I definitely would have changed it." To be clear, however, he wouldn't have changed his decision to join the Heat. LeBron ended up winning 2 NBA titles with Wade and Bosh in Miami and 2 MVP awards. The thing is, though, for all the vitriol it sparked, the decision was a pioneering moment, a significant step towards today's era of unprecedented player empowerment. All LeBron did, ultimately, was seize control over his own narrative. The show's execution may have been subpar, but the underlying principle that LeBron or any other athlete has the right to share their life-changing news on their terms is unimpeachable. Without the decision, Shohei Ohtani doesn't announce his $700 million contract on his Instagram page. I tell you that much. And in retrospect, the criticism that LeBron received for the decision wasn't just excessive, it was inappropriate. And while he still may indeed regret announcing his decision as he did, LeBron did nothing wrong in wanting to share his news on his terms. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button.